Welcome to the programme. To begin this episode 28, we have footage from the recent Ladies' Tractor Rally, which was the brainchild of Jodie Power from Abington. Jodie organised the event to say thank you to the Limerick Marine Search and Rescue for the Trojan work they did last year at the time of the tragic loss of Herbert Gow. The tractors gathered in the field at the rear of Power's pub. The event was billed as a ladies' tractor rally. However, a few of the drivers looked a bit male, especially some of the cyclists who accompanied the rally. One bore a striking resemblance to Bob Richardson of Clonkeene. Councillor John Egan was chatting with Michael Tierney, Johnny Ryan, Simon Tierney and Paddy Kennedy. Jean O'Malley had her high-vis jacket on, getting ready for the road. Maeve Hayes had her Massey Ferguson ready. With hooters blaring, it was off towards Abington Church, led by the Limerick Marine Search and Rescue, followed by Jodie Power. It proceeded to the Five Roads Cross and then via Maru Wood to the bottom of the village. Through the village it proceeded, down the Green Road and returned to Powers in Abington, where a great celebration was held. Congratulations to Jodie and to everyone who took part and those who helped set it up. Also those who contributed sponsorship money to bring the total proceeds for the day to over €10,000. The entire amount was presented to Limerick Marine Search and Rescue. Well done, everybody. Recently, a few unusual visitors came to Bunratty. This time it wasn't to visit the castle or Meadows and Burns, but the quiet waters beside Dirty Nellies. One of our regular viewers had his camera on hand, and now we're able to have a look for ourselves. Sports reports now. And to begin, we have the Camogie Roundup with Club PRO Caroline Hickey.
This is an update on what has been happening on the camogie scene. On Saturday the 9th of April, our under-12s were invited to represent Limerick along with Tournafulla and Croke Park in an under-12 camogie blitz. 48 teams took part in total. Our girls played teams from Antrim, Down and Cork and won one, lost one and drew one. A great day was had by all children, mentors and supporters. They also got a tour of Croke Park and the museum. The day was finished off by going to Thurles for the Division 1B hurling final between Limerick and Dublin. Our under-14s have played 3 matches to date. They lost to Bruff and Temple Dantine and they beat Mungret. This will be a tough league as they are in Division 1, but the girls look forward to the challenge and it will be a good preparation for Fela. Their next game is against Newcastle West on the 16th of April in Boher at 6:30. Our under-16s travelled to Temple Lantine last Sunday and got their league campaign off to a winning start, winning on a scoreline of 1-3 to 1-1, with Aoife Barry getting all the scores. What was a physical match played in windy conditions, the girls came from a goal down after 10 minutes to lead 1-1 to a goal at half-time. Sisters Aisling and Grania Regan kept Maru Boher in the game, and in the end we were lucky to squeeze out the win. Their next game is against Blackrock on the 14th of April at 3:30 in Boher. Our intermediates have just completed their group games in the league. It has been a mixed league with the opponents either only having 12 players or not having a team at all. Out of 7 matches we have won 6 and lost 1, so that means we topped the league. We beat Napearshig, Clanmorris, Tournafulla and Crocora at Lantine, and we received a walkover from Knockaderry and Killeedy, and we lost to Ballybrown. There has been many positives from the league, with all the girls getting valuable game time and also several players getting their name on the score sheet. And finally, Fela is being hosted in Limerick this year. This is a festival that involves the whole community and is a great weekend for all. It will happen on the weekend of the 5th to the 7th of July. We as a club are hosting a team from Roscommon, and as a result we will require your help with fundraising. And we would like to thank everyone who supported our recent table quiz and coffee and cake afternoon, and to the club for helping out in so many ways. And finally, we will be holding our final clothes collection on the 20th of April in the GAA Clubhouse in Maru from 7 p.m. to 7:45, and in the Community Centre Boher from 8 p.m. to 8:45. You can contact Geraldine on 087 67 22055 if you have trouble making the collection points, and we would thank you for your continued support. And you can also check us out on Facebook for any fixtures or any updates. Thanks very much.
Next, the Maru AFC notes from our regular football reporter Noel Regan.
Hi, good evening. These are the Maru AFC notes for the past couple of weeks. Our under-16 girls 2 weeks ago had a fantastic 6-0 win over Regional. Gráinne Regan with 2, Shauna Ryan with 2, Lisa Leonard and Roisin O'Mara netted in a victory that at that stage ensured a minimum share of the league title. Our A team that week drew 0-0 with Hospital, and our under-8s travelled into UL for a series of blitz matches where they competed very well, achieving some excellent results. Then last week we had some excellent news with both our under-14 girls and our under-16 girls winning their respective league titles. On Thursday, the 16s drew 1-1 with Holy Cross to win the title outright, with Shauna Ryan scoring the all-important goal. Whilst on the same night, other results in the 14s division meant that Maru secured the title. Having finished level on points with Holy Cross, both clubs in the 14s sportingly decided that they would share the title between them. On Friday then, our 14s played Herbertstown in the Cup quarter-final, and goals from Lisa Leonard, Anya Cook and Lonnie Kelly secured safe passage through for a meeting with Mungret in the semi-finals. Our 14s and 16s were presented with their trophies and medals after their league matches this week, and there was great celebrations and excitement as a result. Our A team then kept the week going well for us, and they kept their promotion hopes alive by completing a 4-0 win over at Lunkert. Alan Carroll with 2, Brian Quinn and an OG accounted for Maru's tally, and this keeps the A team well in line for a possible promotion to Division 1A depending on results. The Bees, whose season is coming to a close, lost to Myross with Dara Ryan scoring for Maru. And finally, I'll give an update on this again in the future, but Maru AFC are currently developing a website which will be at www.maruafc.ie, and we're hoping that the site will go live in the next couple of weeks, and we'll be providing all the updates and photos there as well. So again, many thanks, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
The GAA report is given by Club Secretary Philip D.
Hi, Philip D, Secretary Maru Boher GAA Club. It's the 11th of April 2013, and just to bring you up to date really what's happening on the playing field and elsewhere in the club. We had our AGM there in January. We returned the very same officers as last year, almost identical. In fact, the chairman is Paul Burns, treasurer is James Ryan, myself Philip D, secretary. We have a new Irish language and cultural officer in Helen Regan, a very welcome addition, and thanks to particularly Kate for doing that job for us last year. On the playing field this year so far, things are just about starting up now. I'll start with minor. The senior club is responsible for teams aged, or for players who play on teams aged over 16 and right up to senior, so that's why I don't include the Board and Og. They have their own separate, as a separate entity within the club, and they do their own thing. But of course it's a very important part of the club, but in my reports I'll be dealing with teams from minor, junior, the under-21s and the seniors. Minors have their first championship match against Nate Breed tomorrow night, the 12th of April in Kilteely, and the throw-in for that is at 6:30. So that's our first minor championship game of the year, first of 7. Hopefully we'll do well. We did very well the last few years in this, but not quite where we want to be, in fairness. So this year is a make or break year for this team, I think. We have a very young team this year. There's only about 5 guys on the age. We have to dip very heavily into the under-16 ranks to get players to fill the team, but I'd still be confident that we could eke out some kind of a result this year and maybe make it into the playoffs or into a final or a semi-final. It would be great for the club and it would be great for the players. So that's our first match against Nate Breed tomorrow night. We played a challenge match already. We've been doing training since late January, early February. I think we're ready for it. The under-21s, we entered in the, not in the 15-a-side, we entered in the 12-a-side, because we have only 15 or 16 players in the club at that age who are available to us. A lot of lads are away at college and so on, so we had to cut our cloth according to our measure. It's a bit of a mess really so far, and it's not our fault. We were to have 4 matches. We played our first match in Maru, beat Caroline fairly well on the day. That's about 3 weeks ago. The second round, unfortunately, we got a walkover from Fedamore, and in the third round, unfortunately, we got a walkover from Ballybrick and Bohermore. So our last match is against Kilteely Drumkeen in about a fortnight's time. So that's a rather unsatisfactory state of affairs, so we don't know where we're going with that, but at the very least we should make it into the final, and that's in East Limerick. Unfortunately it doesn't move out into the county ranks after this, but look, we're competing, I suppose, and that's the important thing. Junior, looks like we have a very exciting year ahead of us last year. The junior team started to build some momentum last year after maybe a lapse of a couple of years when it was sort of in the doldrums, through no fault of anyone, just the players weren't there and so on and so forth. For the first time this year, in many's a year, we've entered in the All-County Hurling League at junior level. That hasn't been done for a very, very long time. So that will bring 7 or 8 extra matches for the juniors. And they played their first match in that competition last Sunday morning in Boher against Old Christians, and they put in fairness, a fine display for the first day out, and they lost 3-7 to 3-4. The hero of the day was Dave Holmes at full forward. It was a revelation. He scored 3-1 of the 3-4. They were out again on Tuesday night in the East Hurling League, and they played Caroline again in Boher actually. It was the second home match in a couple of days, and they won by a point. I don't recall the score, but they won by a point, which was a great start as well for the East League. Their next match is against Doon in a week's time. The seniors have been out already in competition. They played last Sunday evening at 6 o'clock in Hospital against Hospital Herbertstown, and they won on a scoreline of 2-15 to 2-7 in what was a fairly intense game. So that's our seniors off to a great start. Actually, it wasn't their first competitive game. It was the first competitive game in the county. They played East Limerick Championship. We got a walkover from South Liberties in the first round. It's a year for walkovers. And we played a hand in the second round in Harty Park in Maru, and lost that game by 3 or 4 points on the day. Struggled to put a team together for various reasons. We then had to beat Doon in order to stay in the competition. And we did. We beat Doon by a point in Doon a fortnight later. And we, ourselves, a hand and Doon, all ended up on 4 points. So we have it all to do again. There was a draw, and Doon are straight into the final. We have to play a hand again in the semi-final. And that happens next Sunday in Carconlish there's a throw-in time at 1 p.m. So hopefully it will go well, and there's a final spot against Doon in the offing there.
We complete this episode with a thought for the week from Father Brennan.
Hello. Thought for the week. 10 things we can't have without the other. The title, 10 things we can't have without the other. Number 1, money without labour. We do not value what we do not earn. That's number 1. Money without labour. Number 2, loyalty without trust. Loyalty will vanish in the absence of trust. Number 3, appreciation without education. We cannot fully appreciate what we do not fully understand. Number 4, wisdom without experience. True wisdom is the product of many life experiences. Number 5, power without checks and balances. Unfettered power leads to greed and corruption. Number 6, business without sincerity. Crooked business people are prison bound if they're lucky. Number 7, success without sacrifice. Success doesn't find us, we find it. Number 8, policy without justification. Without justification, policy is just another form of tyranny. And number 9, happiness without peace of mind. A mind at ease is already pleased. And number 10, beginnings without endings. A great new beginning rises from another beginning's end. God bless you all.